Daniel really appreciated those gifts. He made him ruler over the entire province of Babylon and chief administrator over all the wise men of Babylon. And at Daniel's request, the king appointed whoever Shadrach is, whoever Meshach is, and whoever Abednego is to manage the province of Babylon while Daniel remained in the king's court. I had to check for the qualifications. September 26, 2016. Yep, you qualify for a 3-year being raised up in Babylon. Skywatch, man, look at that. You just in the nick of time qualified. 5 days before Christmas. Here's another qualification. As soon as it comes in clear. Gary Perry. Gary Perry started on 7/11. So Gary Perry was there at 7/11, 2017.
I want to talk just for a second. I wrote this out, and it's very close to my heart because I was down there, and I watched our police and our firemen down at 7/11, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down.
Body, and this is a representation of what the Lord did and what.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about. This was December 19th, Saturday. It was after dinner when I planned on having family over for a couple weeks, so I was saying I was going to have dinner at my house Saturday, the 19th, and then after dinner, so I was watching Kleck's video. These things are awfully tall.
What he's going to do.
His was on December 17th, 2 days before that.
It says,
with that 44 in the middle of the X.
He will pour out his vengeance on the world for their iniquity. And unfortunately, I believe that time is here now. So pray for the entire world and for the safety of everybody. But the reality of the world is you either accept Christ and his work of the cross, and you accept Emmanuel. With us is El, the Almighty God. If you reject El, the Almighty God, with us is El, the Almighty God. If you reject that gift, then you are subject to the punishment and the condemnation that comes with it. I highly encourage every person to search their soul and to search yourself. And you know if you've done stuff. Have you ever lied? Have you ever cheated? People have cheated on their wives, engaged in fornication. That's all against the Lord God. So if you've done any of those things, you should feel a conviction. And all you have to do is ask for forgiveness. That's why he came into this world, was to forgive you. Birth of the Messiah Day, because that's what it's supposed to represent. That's what the day stands for. It's the birthing of El, the
December
Almighty God
25th,
into the system where the
1360.
children were carried away captive.
4 full days.
The Messiah Day.
Look, this is the crowning, apparently. Jonathan Kleck would like to give the whole world a Christmas present.
Welcome to This Is It, Before the Fire. I want to just first extend a happy celebration of the birth of the Messiah Day. I am working on a Christmas present for everybody. The Lord, I have to share with you what happened. The Lord just gave me on a personal level, one of the greatest confirmations I've ever had. It is a confirmation on a personal level as a servant. Just if your boss were to call you into his office and say, "Hey, I want to tell you, you did a great job this year. I just want to let you know you did a really good job." If a boss were to do that for an employee that had been really diligently working, it would just make the employee's day. Well, my boss, I serve the King, I serve the Most High, and he did the most surprising, it's the greatest thing he could have done for me, was to give me just the perfect peace of heart and peace of mind. Job well done, Jonathan. And the way he did it was so mind-boggling. I wasn't expecting it. I had no idea. It just happened out of nowhere. And the way he did it was so exciting. I was just like, woohoo, no way. I was so excited. I can't explain. I told you the other day, and I gave you a testimony, how the Lord conveyed to me, Jonathan, raise up the banner. Lift up the banner, it's time. I'll be honest with you guys. I literally was just, it's hard for me to process what he asked me to do. So I'm taking the faith. I'm taking a step of faith that is so huge to lift up the banner. And he's like, lift up that banner. Now go put it out in your front yard as a sign to them, to the other race of beings.
So being on the 17th, and then this on the 19th, at night after dinner, I see the ADT. I hear front yard, and I do understand the symbolism to the other race, because it's out of respect, and I'm with you.
His body, and this is a representation of what the Lord did.
However, after dinner,
I don't know about. These things are awfully tall.
What he's going to do in the
after dinner, see, I don't have any flags. You can't like go hurry up and order a wind blade or anything. So I figured I'll just make my own Christmas decoration and put it up on the top of my roof. Just do a little homemade arts and craft kind of. Like I told my wife, I said if you wanted to make one, I would. It doesn't matter how hideous it is. I would still put it up there on the post, until the end of the year. It's a Christmas Christmas theme.
It says he will pour out his vengeance on the world for their iniquity. And unfortunately, I prayed and I said, well, I really could use a confirmation.
Because this is the 21st, but it's the 21st Saturday morning, because it came out at night, December 20th, and then I went out on the 21st at night. I decided to put some banners up, but 2 days prior, I knew where the location was right after dinner, and I believe when I did go out there on the 19th, I went out there after I was watching this video, probably like an hour into the video, and then his latest video, and then I decided to go out there and record where I feel like a good location would be to put these banners up, just as a sign to the other race.
Just a little bit of
even though he controls the races.
confidence. So I told you, I did a whole video on how he showed me. I asked 2 times before I went to bed. He showed me the words display openly, make a public display of, because that glorifies God, the faith, like Abraham. He believed God and he went out in search of a country, believing God, and it was accounted to him as righteousness. So I asked the Lord very directly, are you telling me to do this? And he showed me display openly, show openly, not once but twice. The very next morning, I got up and I prayed. I said, Lord, I need to hear from you. I'm pretty much on the edge of my seat. And that morning he showed me, he told me, open my Bible. And I opened up to Isaiah 13. And it says, lift up a banner upon a high mountain. But look what it says, a flag, a sail, a flagstaff, a signal, a banner, a pole, an ensign. It's very well. I put that in the video.
So there's a flag, there's a flag staff. It's generally a signal, like there's like signal. You get the message, but you can use it figuratively, a token, a banner, a pole, or an ensign, or something standard like a flag or whatever it is. Just basically a signal.
So anyway, so after opening up this to this page, be conspicuous, a signal, a flag as fluttering in the wind. It's a wind blade. To raise a beacon, lift up as an ensign. It's really as a testimony against them, just like Noah. So anyway, so when the Lord showed me this, now I have no choice. I prayed, I asked, he delivered. So either I take that step of faith and say, you know what, there's no doubt that the Lord delivered that to me. So I have to do what he says. Otherwise, I'm saying that I don't believe that was actually him communicating to me. And I know it's him communicating to me because I've been doing this since 2002. So anyway, that morning I was driving around just freaking out. Corey had helped me do, some remodeling. He was in town and he's been here helping me, and I was driving around with Corey in the car just like, oh my gosh, can you believe, he actually told me to get the banner. Do you know what this means? The banner's out. I was just like, I was freaking out. And so then when I came home, another friend of mine, I've had some people from different states come in and just visit, that have been visiting. And one of my friends said, hey Johnny, check this out while you were gone. Like right after I had conveyed, to some of my friends that the Lord told me to put the banner out, then I show up and another one of my buddies is like, did you see this thing with Alex Jones? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And it shows Alex Jones. And now here's the thing, I want everybody to understand. I don't think Alex Jones is, some Spirit-led, Holy Spirit filled Christian at all. No, I do not believe that at all. However, God can use a donkey to convey a message if he wants. So anyway, so when I saw the Alex Jones thing and what was coming out of his mouth, and I was just like, that's crazy. Because what he was saying was what the Lord had already communicated to me. And it being Alex Jones just made it all that much more crazy. Because Alex Jones is not somebody I really follow or anything. I mean, he's a historian, he's a smart guy, he sees what's going on in the government. But does he know the truth on a spiritual level? No, I don't see it at all. So anyway, so I'm not saying he couldn't be converted, I just don't see it. Anyway, so on that note, when I saw the Alex Jones thing and that black preacher that got up there, during this rally, and then I saw him with this yellow banner, which is identical to my wind blades. It's a giant wind blade, and it says, the truth lives here. Well, there's no way to, I had already gotten my confirmation that morning, raise up a banner, and then an hour or so later I come back and that's put in front of me. There's no way to doubt it then. It's like there's just no way. The timing, the circumstances, all that, the Lord's always in the timing. So anyway, so I raise up a banner, and then an hour or so later I come back and that's put in front of me. There's just no way. The timing, the circumstances, all that, the Lord's always in the timing. So anyway, so I did that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. So I knew to put up the banner. Then And then I was trying to get us, me and like I said, I have friends from different states that come to town, and we got together. We're all going to go have dinner, and so I said, I was trying to get us in a restaurant, and because of COVID, things have changed, and so I could states that have come in town, and we got together. We're all going to go have dinner. It's like, oh my gosh, that's insane. So I knew to put up the banner then. And then I was trying to get us, me and like I said, I have friends from different states that have come in town, and we got together. We're all going to go have dinner, and so I said, I was trying to get us in a restaurant.
I'm just going to say this to click. When I put up the banners, it's my own personal religious belief. I'm exercising my religious belief. Nobody's giving me a problem, but I do the things that I feel like I ought to do, and also that it helps others, and it also connects the communication where you're just on the right track with where you're heading. And so as I'm doing it, I the feeling I had ever since I was a kid, which is there's certain things I do that it feels good for me to do, but I also know it. Like if anybody was watching, they would appreciate that, whatever it is, that work, because I've always worked as if someone's watching me, and that paid off because when I got out of school, I was only making $7.50 an hour after having a carpenter's degree for the 2 years in the trade school, and I get a job, but they pay low, and so I worked for a year and a half with them. I made $9 at the end. But I was running circles around the other guys that were getting paid $16, $17 an hour. And the one guy, Barry, that looked out for me my entire career, it's because of him that I've known the other people, that even Dave, it's because of him giving me a job from the Ventrescas, and the Ventrescas knew Dave, and then he was just starting to build in Philly, and then now he's like building all Philly, remodeling a lot of it. So Barry was watching me run circles around these people with such an eager desire to just do work, knowing that I know I'm only getting paid $7.50 an hour at the time. And then I started to run crown molding by myself because they wouldn't teach me, so I just watched them and I started doing it. And luckily the boss came in at that time. He seen me running crown. I was like, who told you to do that, or how to do that? I said, I just learned on my own. He's like, oh wow, I'm going to give you $9 an hour. So right then and there, I was doing something that I felt like I should do. And I've always worked as if people were watching anyway. I've lived my life as if people were watching anyway, even from 6, 7 years old. Just knowing that something is watching you. And if they see that you're doing good, that would kind of make people proud. And at the right time, it's no big deal, but it's about the decision I made to just take it upon myself to learn how to do the crown molding. Because you got to flip it upside down, cut it backwards, and then cope it, or miter it if you can hold it straight. The boss comes in, he sees me doing that. I get a raise just like that because of an initial injected thought that I said, all right, well, you don't want to show me? Fine, I'll do it myself. And then after I got fired from that job because I stole some stuff from one of the houses from Toll Brothers, and it because of my criminal career. But see, Barry, he knew that the guy that was the subcontractor, the big old hillbilly, like 6'6", 250-pound hillbilly, but he seen my work, and then he even knew that I stole from the company, and he kind of was like, yeah, I mean, you weren't making much money, so I don't blame you. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, well, I can only start you out at $15 an hour. I'm like, only? So I hopped on board. And then after 6 months, he made me his partner because of the work that I was doing. As fast as I was moving, as much work as I was getting done, I was making 400 hours a day as a 21-year-old kid, 22-year-old kid, with such an eager desire to get work done because I seen that this is a great opportunity. So he just made me his partner just like that. And I consistently got work done until I got, locked up again. And then at that time I straightened my ass out. But the point of all of it is, I had that feeling where if I get this right, where I think this is something that I just feel like I ought to do. The spirit inside of me is saying it's a good gesture. It's a good confidence builder. It's a little bit of arts and crafts. I want to put something up for Christmas. So I put up my my signs. You got Mary over here. And you got Christ over here. So Mary 2020 and Christ 2021, because Christ must take over 2021. I also didn't even take into account the rhino, the blue rhino, but I've always had that. Uncle I saw about the last rhino. We did that earlier in the video. But this is just a homemade flag from a tarp. So I put it up here, the flagpole. It winded up bending and falling, so I put it up higher, even higher up on the window. But just for that night, I wanted to put it in the same vicinity as a sign to the other race.
Which is like, woohoo, no way. I was so excited, I can't explain, having done all this work for the kingdom, and for him to confirm the perfection of the work, that it was done correctly. So anyway, I'm organizing the data, and so what I'm going to do for everybody is just a Christmas present. And this is for the world. I'm doing it for the people that are my subscribers, that have come here, but this is a gift from the Lord God to the world. I just get to be the guy that gives the gift. How fun is that? Sorry, Robin Hood and all you shills. You guys are in for deep, 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 deep trouble.
So back on February 29th of 2020 was the beginning of, all right, Click. I mean, I appreciate you saying my channel's name, but at the time I was still like, I'm not sure how I feel about Click, and I was kind of coming against him somewhat. But then when I heard him say that and then this.
By the way, Robin, nerd. Yeah. Anyway.
Now, when I heard that, I heard love out of Click's, out of his spirit. So that was the moment, February 29th, that I really turned the page on, wait a minute, why am I coming at this guy? Like but what if it really means this? What if he's really on God's side, but he's showing, because at the time, remember, the 26th of January is when he started to prove to me that, wow, he's in on this entire thing with Kobe Bryant. He made a deal with him, He got on all excited about 2 days before he died because of the deal that was made. Maybe it was the surgery that was done, or, I mean, who knows? But you got to be a bride of Christ to go up to heaven, right? So at that point, I'm thinking more and more, man, I've been right this entire time that these people that I spend a lot of time with on YouTube, they know everything that's going to happen in our entire planet. And they've demonstrated that they know what has happened generation after generation after generation from the beginning of time. They have all of the facts and proof and truth of everything. Just in case if people forgot that, Click doesn't even know who you are. Well, there's only one Robin Hood that would be considered a shill on YouTube, because any other Robin Hood is like, some kind of game show or something. And then he just made it clear here, because I was talking about him and Michael Spears and not liking women, and then that's when he had to make me hear that
probably getting in so much trouble. I'm serious. I had lots of girlfriends, lots of pretty girlfriends, went out with lots of pretty girls. By the way, Robin, nerd. Yeah. Anyway.
And then 20 minutes later was the Robin Hood shill reference that we're all in deep, deep trouble, which means we're not in deep, deep trouble. Everybody else is.
The data, the information, and the cumulative sum of the understanding of what he's revealed from the beginning to the end in a very, I know y'all start laughing when I say like a very short. I'm going to try and keep it as just bullet point short as possible, and then I'll show you the way he rolled out your quest has come to an end and your understanding of everything, and he proved it, and he proved it's all exactly perfect. So I was freaking out. I mean, I got the greatest Christmas present. So anyway, I've been working on that all morning. I'm taking these steps of faith. I put the wind blades out, next level roofing. I did what he said. He took me to the barn door. Everyone that went to dinner there with me freaked out. We were like, what? Because everything on the walls was just a confirmation of, he told me to put the wind blades out, and the guys literally are raising the flag at Iwo Jima. And at V-Day, I'm the V for Vengeance guy. I mean, how many times have y'all seen that? And for my guests that met me for dinner, it was off the charts for them as well, because I told you before dinner, the Lord told me to make it known that
When I was thinking about, I'm thinking like, I'm not doing it. I'm not putting any banners up. I'm just not because I don't feel like, because I don't want to, actually. I don't have banners. I don't have it. I don't feel like doing it. And then as time goes by, only a few days, the next day, 2 days, I start thinking, well, maybe I should, because... And then when I went to Home Depot, the manager gave me a problem. I almost wasn't even able to buy my little arts and crafts, but then he said to go ahead with the self-checkout. So I winded up making it because I wanted to put them up.
told me to put the wind blades up. The V for Vengeance, right side up, upside down. V for Vengeance. He told me to.
And how this thing works is the person that has all the ability to create things in our planet as we see in our entire world that can affect everything and everybody. What he's doing here is explaining. He does a real live thing, an event that's planned out to do, and then if anybody can match similarly what he's saying anybody that's on YouTube that can understand what this whole thing is, then obviously for this entire year, the beginning of this year, Kleck has been really focused in on those people that he feels like can understand the language. And for those people that I put on my list, I mean, you're on the list for a reason, because you at least see something that's happening here. You're not quite sure, but just know this. When I'm right, and I'm telling you who Jonathan Kleck is, and I'm telling you that this has all just been about communication, and when you call somebody the Lord or the Lord God, it's a title of someone that's a creator, a father of something, like the father of lies. You're the father of it, the father of truth. You're the father of it. If you can create something, then you're just you have a title, I guess. You could put a title on it. But see, I don't want a title for anything. I just want to be recognized for what I did. I want my work to be appreciated, and I want things to change. And then on top of the things changing, I want to share with the people that I put on my list. And there's other people too. So when I'm proven that I'm right, the people that have stuck around for all this time, that I'm gonna look out for everybody. Just the way I am. But I don't have authority in this world at this moment.
Those up. after dinner at the barn door, which was it was the restaurant that he told me to go to because we couldn't get into the other place I was trying to get
After
in.
dinner.
Okay. So I'm really excited. So anyway, so now that I've done what he said, I put the V for Vengeance wind blades up, and I'm anxiously expecting something to happen. I mean, I'm hoping that the bride of Christ leaves any moment. Something's going to happen. Just like Chinati. The Lord told me to go to Chinati, take my whole drop zone, to trust Him that He would provide a plane for me, and I would be skydiving into the desert somewhere. I didn't even know where I was skydiving into. I mean, it's just so fascinating. So now, He is confirmed. He is 100% confirmed that everything is correct. And He showed me, Jonathan, your quest for knowing the absolute truth is come to an end. You've got it.
So I decided to put Mary, not Mary, but Mary, and then Christ must.
You've got it. I'll show you the way He showed me. The Da Vinci Code is a really twisted movie trying to say that there's the bloodline of Jesus, that Mary Magdalene was Jesus' wife, and they had a royal baby, and all through the ages that bloodline has existed, and they're guarding the Holy Grail, which is really a female from that bloodline, as all the descendants, go down all the years from Christ, and her name is Sophia, and she's supposed to be the heir of Christ, and it's this woman. Anyway, so it was really a unusual way to do it, but the way He did it is perfect, and I'm going to share that with you. And the way He did it goes literally back to the hotel room the night I got saved. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I know I'm excited, and I'm so excited, so I'm going to work on this right now, and I'm working on my desktop. I'm organizing photos, because I'm going to take you from beginning to end in pictures, thus making peace. He's the Prince of Peace. All right. I'm working on it. I'll get it out. I'm going to be working on it until I get it out.
So all the references
I love you guys.
to this video is Mary, the bloodline, and Christ, but it's not the way you think it is. It's not an actual bloodline itself. It's in the blood, like it's in your DNA now. And then he's referencing the Prince of Peace and the banners and putting them up. And I decided to put them up at 11:11 as a peace arrangement. Mary and Christ has nothing to do with a sexual relationship.